Hi, this is Trey Pastor, and welcome to, I guess this is the Horoscope 101 channel. Like I explained in my, on my channel update, this is going to be a review of a horror movie for the Horoscope 101 channel, which I'm still going to be uploading videos, like I said, to that. And also, I'm going to put this video on my regular channel. I'll call it Trey Pastor's Saturday Horror. You know, yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll also, like I said, upload it on Horoscope 101 channel as well, because I'm still going to try to keep that channel up and running. So, and also, like I said, put it on this channel for a Trade Pastor Saturday horror. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, the movie I got is a movie that I heard a lot of good things about. A movie that one of these Screen Factory releases, and of course, and this has a lot of future stars in this. This is The Burning. Okay, 1981's The Burning. Okay, this came out around the same time as Friday the 13th, and it's in a similar vein. In this movie, the story is basically a janitor at a summer camp. He gets a prank pulled on him when he's sleeping. These couple of guys decide to get Cropsy. I think that's his name, Cropsy, who's supposed to be a real hard ass. Okay, and a drunkard. So they decided, okay, we're gonna play a prank on him and really show him. So they sneak into his camp while he's sleeping, and they put a skull. This is my skull there. This is not a really spoiler because you see the burning. That's where the burning comes from, and he put a skull there, with worms and stuff coming out of it. When he's lighted, and it's lit. So of course, when Cropsy wakes up, they bang on the window. So when Cropsy wakes up out of his slumber, he kind of stutters around and gets freaked out and kind of knocks down. He knocks down the lighted skull, and it lights. And of course, it immediately catches on fire, lights his bed on fire, and actually lights him on fire. And he's all of a sudden he's engulfed. And also he I forgot to mention he has gasoline in his bunk. So of course, and naturally that catches fire as well, which causes him to go up in flames basically, and he starts screaming bloody murder. Basically runs out of the cabin, on fire. And of course the young punks that played this prank on him didn't expect that to happen, so they're like stunned while it's happening. And basically Cropsy runs out of the cabin and basically rolls down, gets burned severely and then rolls down into the water. And then the next thing you know, of course, he's in the hospital, and of course they're saying that he's burnt beyond recognition. He's just really painful. And there's a really good bit where the one of the doctors, I guess, that's been there for a while, takes this young doctor just got here, even though the young doctor looks about 40, and he takes him in and says, "Listen, you gotta see this, man. You gotta see this. Okay, come here." And of course, the guy's back at the and the brother who opens up the thing to show him, the burn victim, which is Cropsy, starts freaking out when Cropsy reaches out and grabs his hand, and I love that bit. And the young intern runs out, leaving the brother screaming with Cropsy, gripping his hand. Okay, and then they advance the story about 5 years later, and they, you hear through voiceover that they basically tell him to try to forget about what happened to you, telling Cropsy, apparently he was burned so severely that even the skin grafts didn't take. So basically, he's burnt beyond recognition, and he has to they basically tell him to suck it up and try to get past it and get on with your life. Okay, which is a terrible thing to say. And of course, they don't show you exactly what he looks like. But he wanders off, and then you see him pick up a prostitute. Okay, and of course he goes up, goes up to her room, and she's egging him on to come up there, and he goes up there, and of course then she sees his face and totally starts freaking out, and then he starts to stab him, and that's his first kill. Okay, he kills the prostitute in the room. Okay, and then they go flash to a summer camp. Okay, and this summer camp has the usual cast of characters in it. And also in this cast is a young Jason Alexander. You have a young Holly Hunter. You have a young Mark Ratner, who was in, I guess he's more famous for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. he was the guy that was going out with Jennifer Jason Leigh, the young shy guy whose friend basically hit Ratner. I think his name was Ratner. Well, Mark Ratner. I think that was. Hold on, let me make sure about his name. The guy from that's what I think he's most famous. Brian Backer. I'm sorry, that's his name. But I think he was Ratner in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But in this movie, he you know, he's his character, and he's kind of the nerd of the whole thing, the shy guy. His name's Alfred, and you have Jason Alexander. He's one of the cool guys, and you have Fisher Stevens, who's Woodstock, and he's another one of the cool guys. And then you have Larry Joshua, who plays Glazer, who's basically the dick of the camp, okay? Who basically picks on Alfred, and of course, and after all the girls, and he's supposed to be a jock, and he's after all the girls. And the good thing about this movie, one of the good things about this movie, is you see a lot of nudity in this movie. This is an 80s movie, so you see a lot of nudity. You have full frontal nudity in this movie, which I wasn't expecting, okay? And basically, like I said, it's typical summer camp with the the nerds and the cool kids and everything else. And of course, like I said, Brian Backer's character Alfred gets he's shy and he gets picked on, of course. And basically, they the counselors they're planning this canoe trip, okay, where everybody goes out, and then of course Cropsey makes his way back to the summer camp to get revenge. And I was thinking to myself when I was watching, I was saying, wait a minute, he's trying to get revenge on the people that that burnt him, but these are not the same people that burnt him. But then again, I think about Friday 13th. Jason's mother and Jason himself didn't get revenge on the exact same people that let him drown. They just got revenge on the counselors that was there. So, it makes sense. Besides, you got to have bodies there for hitting the body count. And anyway, so basically they go on this canoe trip and usual shenanigans, and then Cropsey starts his killing spree. Starts picking the campers off, one at a time, and you get some pretty okay kills. And like I said, the budget for this is less than $2 million. So for the budget, the kills are pretty decent for the budget they had to work with. Okay, it's not the best movie, like I said, it's not the best acting either, but it's okay. And I like the kills. Although, like I said, they did kind of tie it in to the beginning of the movie, which towards the end of the movie, and I don't want to spoil how that's tied in, but they do tie it in to the beginning of the movie when the prank was played on Cropsey. They do tie it in at the end. Okay, for those who've seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. Okay, they do tie that in there, and basically, like I said, Cropsey starts, he strands them there, but by letting their canoes go, and they have to make a fake raft to try to get back to the camp. And I think the most impressive kill to me was the one on the this is a spoiler, I guess, that on the ramp, without spoiling exactly what happens. But I think that kill was the best kill sequence in the whole movie. I like the way it was done. That to me was the best. Okay, and like I said, you don't get the best acting. And like I said, the script ain't the best. And like I said, the killing doesn't start, I think, until like an hour into the movie. I think you get the little bit of killing that I say in the beginning. When the prostitute gets killed, but then it takes a little while to. And like I said, the characters are kind of likable, except for the guy that's a dick. I think Glazer, who's basically the bully of the camp. But Jason Alexander's character is like a cool guy. He's the guy that kind of gets everything that you want. He can get you anything you want. And then you have Fisher Stevens. He's like a cool guy. And then they hang out with Brian Backer, who's his character of Alfred, who's the nerd. They do hang out with him. So it's not like he's totally isolated. They try to help him and they hang out with him and stuff. Even though the Dick Glazer, who's always picking on him. Okay, but like I said, overall, it was a decent watch. Like I said, I think it's 91 minutes. Okay, not the best acting in the world, and the story's not that fantastic. And I kind of, in my opinion, I don't like the way it ended. To me, there's just something a little bit too false about it. But then again, I have to think about the budget for the movie. So, I think they did the best they could with the low budget that they had. Okay, and like I said, you get the nudity and you get some decent kills in this. So overall, as a slasher, yeah, I still prefer Friday the 13th. That's my bias showing through. But I'm going to give The Burning, okay, like I said, not the best acting, but like I said, for the budget, and like I said, even though and I take away points for it, the killing in earnest didn't start until like an hour in. Okay, so I'm going to give The Burning I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10? 7? No. No, not a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10? Think about it. 7 out of 10? No, I'm going to give it a 6.5. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6.5. Okay, just because, like I said, the killing didn't start fast enough for me. I mean, there was one kill in the beginning, but the killing didn't start in earnest until like an hour in. Okay, I mean, and the kids, you got to know, I guess you got to know the kids, somewhat. Okay, not the best people in the world, but decent acting. You have Jason Alexander and Fisher Stevens. Okay, and the two leads, I guess, besides Brian Backer's character, there was Brian Matthews and Lou Ayres. They played Todd and Michelle. I guess the head camp counselors. And, they were decent. They could actually act. So, okay, and Larry Joshua played a good dick as Glazer. He was the bully and a proper dick. So, but overall, like I said, for the budget, it was decent. So I would give it a 6.5, not quite a 7. Like I said, it had maybe more kills, but then again, I can't blame them because with the budget, they had to do the best they could. And I do like the raft scene. That's my favorite scene in the movie. That and like I said, I wasn't too crazy about the ending. Okay, but for the raft scene and for the Jason Alexander and Fisher Stevens, I thought were good, and even Brian Bracker, who was the nerd, he was okay, and like the two leads were okay. So Cropsey, like I said, I like the way, and I did like the way they showed Crop. They showed it from his point of view when he started to do his killing. They showed it from his point of view, which I thought was nice. I mean, that was a different take on the killing. I like that. Okay, and like I said, you didn't really get, well, I won't spoil that part. Anyway, again, 6.5. Okay, a little, to be perfectly honest, just a little, I guess maybe my expectations were a little bit too high for it. Okay, because I thought this was, I think, on a par, I guess, with the Friday the 13th movies, which are admittedly my favorites, so I'm kind of biased that way. But a decent watch. Okay, so again, a 6.5 for me. Okay, I know that a lot of people say this is their favorite and stuff in slashers, in terms of slashers, but I have to give it a 6.5. Not quite a 7. I just, like I said, just because I think it took too long for the killings to start in this movie, and the budget, I guess, the budget is what it is, so I can't really blame them for the budget. And you did have decent actors in it, So I'm just taking away points for the killing didn't start right away, I guess. And so, like I said, they got Tom Savini did the FX, which like I said, for the budget that he had to work with, I think he did a decent job. Okay, and like I said, you see a young Holly Hunter in this, Jason Alexander, and Fisher Stevens. Okay, so anyway, 6.5 for me. Okay, so that's my first review. I know it's a little bit long because I'm kind of over-explaining for Trey Pastor's Saturday Horror. Okay, and for the Horoscope 101 channel. Anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free, The Burning, feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.